Okay, those are of course all the big headlines, but let's give you all the numbers. Let's go straight to our big magic board to tell you what's been happening in our polls today. And we will start with the India Today Axis poll at the moment, because that's the poll that's often been seen as the most trusted. Take a look at the numbers. The India Today Axis poll now says Congress with 39% vote share. That's down 2% compared to 2013 when they won big, but nevertheless well ahead of the BJP with 35%. The BJP is up 2%. Remember, the BJP was deeply split in 2013. They are united, but this is where the story is. The JDS is down 3. So both the Congress and the BJP, the Congress and the BJP benefiting in a way from the JDS. Others are 9%. 39% Congress, 35% BJP, 17% JDS, 9% others is how we are projecting this poll. The decline really sharp is in the JDS. How does this translate into seats? 222 seats now, one countermanded, one deferred. Congress 106 to 118. That's down 10 compared to 2013, but still over the halfway mark of 112. The BJP 79 to 92. That's plus 31. Remember, they were wiped out in 2013 when they were split after Yediyurappa was out of the party. The JDS 22 to 30, and they're taking the hit. We believe they're down 14. They won 40 last time. Halfway point would be 26. Others 1 to 4, and remember, the others could play a role if there is a hung assembly in the state. So that's the big picture you're getting. The Congress edging closer and closer to the halfway mark. Anything over 105, we believe they will form a government. Anything below that, the JDS comes into the play, and so does the BJP if they're on the higher end. Let's do a poll of polls. Lots of polls being done today. We've shown you the India Today Axis numbers. Times Now via VMR, 80 to 93 for the BJP, 90 to 103 for the Congress, 31 to 39 to JDS. So they put Congress at 1. Republic TV, 95 to 114 for the BJP. Congress 73 to 82 and 32 to 43 for the JDS. So the BJP is up number 1 there. News Nation 105 to 109 for the BJP, 71 to 75 for the Congress, 36 to 40 for the JDS. NewsX CNX, which is another poll, 102 to 110 for the BJP, 70 to 78 for the Congress, 35 to 39 for the JDS. All putting the BJP number 1. Suvarna TV is putting the Congress at number 1. 106 to 118, 79 to 92 and 22 to 30. They probably copied the Axis India Today poll. So good luck to Suvarna. If you're wrong with us. Okay, Digvijay News 103 to 107 for the BJP, 76 to 80 for the Congress, 31 to 35 for the JDS. And ABPC voter, 103 they say for the BJP, 93 for the Congress and 25 for the JDS. So if you look at the number of polls, in all of the 8 polls that you will have, 5 have given the edge to the BJP, 3 have given the edge to the Congress at the moment. 5-3 is what it's looking like. Okay, Raj Chengappa, are you surprised? Have you seen this happen very often? Doesn't happen too often that polls are so badly split. Or is this the nature of your home state that you're like a mirror crack, split wide open, and tough to predict the Kannadiga mood at the moment?
Well, you know, if you went down on the ground, it was quite clear it was going to be a tough fight. I think the polls reflect that.
Yes.
That there was no great clarity. And that's the surprising thing, because in 2013 you had the clarity, 2008 in some senses you had some clarity, but this time voters seem to be divided, and I think the polls are reflecting that thing. The good news for the Congress is that if they lose, they're not losing as badly as would have been expected to have happened to a government that's been in power for 5 years, and it's been many, many years, almost 30 years since you had a government win again in the state. So
the last time it happened was 85.
85 with Mr. Hegde, and I covered that. I covered that election. No, 85 was Mr. Hegde at that time, Ramkrishna Hegde. Now, if you
85. 83.
Yeah, so you're saying that it would be a huge leap if 33 years later, if the Congress is in a position to defeat anti-incumbency.
Certainly, and if our polls are showing that Congress has the edge, and given the fact that Axis normally gets its numbers right, it is a big victory for the Congress in that sense that if they're able to cross the 100 mark, go to 105, they will form the government. And the outer limit in the lower limit is showing 106 in our polls. So I think the numbers are somewhat what people are talking about on the ground, that the Congress has the edge. The BJP, which should have actually surged ahead, given the fact that it took a little while for Mr. Siddaramaiah to get his act going. It took almost 2 years before he really struck, in some senses, the true form that he has. They should have been far ahead at this point. They were not far ahead even in the earlier polls. So I think somewhat you're getting to see a really tough fight. It could go anywhere because, as you said in the earlier things, there are 30 seats that could swing any way or the other.
That's right.
But certainly the Congress has the edge at the moment.
Yes, Harish, first reactions to these polls as of today.
First of all, I think I'd like to hold a candle for the pollster. Because, when you look at Karnataka, it's a very, very tough thing to do. Because you're really looking at a three-way kind of a split between the Congress, the BJP and the JDS. And we are talking about 6 regions which are totally diverse and there's nothing common to one another. And we are talking a fact that 22% of all wins in 2013 were below 5,000 votes. We had a large number of them going in that particular manner. So I think, if you look at it, polar polls, I think the polls themselves are split. And I think, it's either way.
Okay.
Because 22% is a large number we need to consider.
Quick reaction.
Well, I think your India Today Axis poll, I think, reflects a larger ground reality that one is seeing. There are two factors here. One, the BJP was expected to hold on to its traditional bastion, which is Mumbai, Karnataka and coastal. You wanted to know what will happen in Hyderabad, Karnataka, which hasn't been a BJP bastion. They got their presence because of Sri Ramalu and the Reddy brothers by a very small margin in 2008. You wanted to know if the Congress can sweep that region. Your poll seems to indicate that. In the old Mysore region, again, while there was a Vokkaliga consolidation, there was a reverse consolidation in favor of the Congress. The poll seems to suggest that. So, in a large sense, I think it was anticipated that the Congress will be a single largest party. And the one factor that we forget, that in India, across the board, we have been getting stable governments, even in states like UP. And I think that is also a factor that hinges at the minds of the people. They don't want an unstable government.
Okay, first reaction, Javed.
Congress 8 months to 12 months ago, they did a cost-benefit analysis, seriously considered having a pre-poll alliance with JDS. The Siddaramaiah convinced the Congress leadership that if we have a pre-poll alliance, it would mean that all the anti-Congress votes would go into the bag of the BJP. So their strategy of smashing the JDS appears to have paid off if our poll is correct. And this is a vindication of that the JDS is caving in and the Congress's gain is at the cost of JDS.
Quick reactions, Sudhir.
2 quick points, Rajdeep. Basically, I think if you traveled through Karnataka before 2016, you would have got the sense that this Siddaramaiah government is extremely unpopular on the ground. They made some course correction post 2016, also borrowing a leaf from Jayalalitha's success story in May 2016, when riding on the back of a social welfare agenda, she came back to power again after 30 years in Tamil Nadu. The second point, if the polls are right and all the other 5 polls seem to indicate that the BJP will come back, there is a story there that the maximum gains seem to be made by the Congress in Hyderabad, Karnataka and Old Mysuru. In coastal Karnataka, central Karnataka and Mumbai, Karnataka, it's the BJP that has an edge. So the real fight is taking place in the Hyderabad, Karnataka region and the Old Mysuru region, and there's a story there.
And therefore it appears the BJP is still confident of its numbers, as you are, R.K. Upadhyay, that the BJP will be number 1 because they believe Hyderabad, Karnataka will go towards the BJP.
Hyderabad, Karnataka, as well as I think Mumbai, Karnataka. These are the two key
Yeah, in
areas.
addition to Mumbai, Karnataka and coastal, Hyderabad, Karnataka is where our poll they claim has gone wrong.
Yeah, you see, there is such a range of figures here. One of them is going to be right. There's 7 polls which are giving so many figures. One of them, day after tomorrow is definitely going to be right. So, but then,
the good thing is no one is giving a 2/3 majority. So it's not, what is clear is that there is no wave in one direction.
That's right. And the lowest that, all these are giving is Congress is 72 and for BJP 79. So that is the lowest. And the higher level, 110, 114, all those figures are there. So, definitely we take the median, then it could still be a hung assembly.
It could still be a hung assembly.
So if that is the case, then JDS will still play a role, in spite of the fact that we are mentioning about how they've gone down.
All the resorts in and around Bengaluru will be booked up through the month of May if there is a hung assembly. Let's put that to our politicians. Amit Malviya, spokesperson BJP, Sanjay Jha, spokesperson of the Congress, Tanveer Ahmed, spokesperson JDS, all joining us at the moment. Amit Malviya, to you first. You've been among those sorry, Saddam Beg, youth leader, JDS joining us. But you, Amit Malviya, at 10 a.m. this morning on Twitter was saying a huge victory for the BJP. Now, no poll is giving a huge victory for the BJP. Even the polls that have put the BJP ahead are putting them in the 100 to 110 range. Your response?
Well, Rajiv, I was just looking at the polling agencies that you've listed out. I think there's been some correction in Suvarna numbers. They seem to suggest that the BJP will get 98 against 88 of the Congress. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. And there's Chanakya that has recently come out, which has put the BJP at 120, the Congress at 73, the JDS at 26, giving a 3% difference between the BJP and the Congress. Now, if you look at all these surveys that have come out, there's one thing very clear, that the BJP is in the lead. The BJP has gained significantly from its position in 2013 and in 2018. And therefore, this is an important aspect that can't be overlooked. As far as our assessment is concerned, based on what we've seen on the ground and from the feedback that we've got through our organizational network, we are clearly on our way to about 130 and more. And on the 15th, I'm sure we will have these numbers come out and you will find that we are very close to it. We have made significant inroads in the old Mysore region, as we have made in the Hyderabad Karnataka region, which was originally supposed to be the Congress stronghold. But some of these areas where we did not have a presence, we have made significant inroads, and we have improved our tally in the regions like Mumbai, Karnataka, the coastal and also the urban centers where we've always had a dominant presence. We've improved on it, and therefore we believe that while these numbers put out by various agencies is a good exercise, we must indulge ourselves, but the final numbers will come out on 15th, and we remain confident that we will do extremely well. We will go past 130.
Okay, so 130 still remains the BJP's figure according to the head of its social media cell. Sanjay Jha, somewhere in these numbers, will there be a sense of nervousness? We were with the Chief Minister, and we'll play that interview in a moment at 9 p.m. But when we were with the Chief Minister a little while ago, he was very confident. But I pointed out to him that there are those polls that are giving the BJP the edge. To that extent, would you accept that this is still not a done deal? This is not one of those polls where any side has a distinct edge.
Well, Rajdeep, first and foremost, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, but hope that the Axis poll is what plays out on the 15th. So I'm going to, kind of swear by Axis 100 times before the 15th.
Your toes crossed also, fingers and toes.
The second point, I'm not going to deny it. Until the final votes are counted. Absolutely. And let me tell you this, that even if all the polls had given us #1 rank and 145 seats, I would be extremely nervous. My experience in politics is that you never celebrate or, get over exuberant until the last vote is counted. So I think, I'd be nervous. Absolutely. I mean, you fight a tough election. I think right on from Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Siddaramaiah, the whole team. I have had my colleagues sitting in Karnataka for the last 35 days, working day in and night out. So, I've seen how much of hard work has gone into it. And obviously, you fight in election to win. And politics is a winner takes all. There's no runners-up trophy. So, we have to win the elections. And it is critical for the Congress. I'm not going to deny it. So, but I do believe that one big element that I take away from all the polls, even those that have put Congress in the second, is that end of the day there is no perceptible anti-incumbency, and that gives me a huge confidence that end of the day, if a government at the end of 5 years, despite having a very a BJP with full muscle power, no, but I'll tell you, if we are holding strong there, it tells me that there's a high possibility of us crossing the 50% mark. But I'm not going to make the tall prognostications of my friend from the BJP. I'm very bullish, therefore, that we have performed well. And we are very confident that that message has gone to the grassroots. Okay. I think Mr. Siddaramaiah's government has been excellent in terms of delivery of public services at the most retail level. And I think that's going to pay dividends, and therefore I think the Congress will win on the 15th.
Okay, and we've got the third player, Saddam Beg of the JDS, because really what the Axis India Today poll is suggesting, Mr. Beg, is the decline of the JDS to the advantage of the Congress in Old Mysore. And that is where this election has turned. The election has turned in Old Mysore as per our poll. The Congress has lost out in Mumbai, Karnataka and coastal, but made the gains in Old Mysuru. Your response? the JDS has lost out the Muslim vote. As per our survey, 89% Muslims have voted for the Congress this time.
No, sir. No, the opinion poll showed is totally not agreed, because we are definitely going to cross the double in number, in the number shown. And when it comes to the Muslim votes, definitely even Muslims have voted for JDS.
Okay.
Yes, JDS is going to cross double in numbers as shown in the opinion poll, because in 2008 in opinion poll it was showed that only 10 seats will be from JDS, but JDS had crossed more than 17 seats. And when it come to 2013's opinion poll, it was showed that JDS will not exceed more than 15, but JDS had crossed 41. JDS had succeeded 41 seats.
Okay.
The same way this time it has been showed that JDS is somewhere around 30 to 40, but we are very confident that JDS is going to get the double in numbers.
Okay, let's focus on the JDS for a moment, and we'll listen in.
Voted for JDS.
Okay, we'll focus on that. We'll also listen into Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. But the JDS, is this a party underestimated? Do we tend, Harish Biju, to underestimate the JDS because a third player sometimes gets squeezed out in the battle between two giants? Deva Gowda maintains, one of his aides has just sent me a message, you will be proven horribly wrong on the 15th.
Well, I think the JDS is typically underestimated all the time, because, there is a need in southern politics for the local establishment. And the local establishment is the local party. And Mr. Deve Gowda, with his deep involvement with the farmer community, has been an entity that has actually, done wonders for Karnataka for a period of time. Of course, in this current election, I think the JDS got sandwiched between two entities. The Congress at one end, where Rahul Gandhi really spoke about the fact that, it is the B team of the BJP. And then in came Mr. Modi, and that, appreciation of Mr. Deve Gowda was read subliminally by a whole lot of people. So I think the JDS.
So you think the JDS has got squeezed? You think if they got squeezed a bit in this election?
It's got sandwiched, and I think, it's got sandwiched in polarizing some of its own vote bank.
Yes.
I think the JDS sometimes tends to overestimate itself, and hence feels that everybody else underestimates it, because, they were never going to get 60 seats. They were not even looking at 30 or 40. They were looking at 60 seats. They were wanting to create a situation where the BJP and Congress will be at 80. Now, the JDS as a party, yes, for its own existence, needs that kind of a hung assembly in Karnataka. But the fact that whether that is good for the state or not, have you been able to build yourself beyond the Vokkaligas? You haven't been able to go beyond the Vokkaliga caste. And having gone into an alliance with the BJP once and split away from it, today Deva Gowda turning around and saying, I will disown my son if he goes with BJP again. This is seen as a little bit of drama. As
Javed, you've known Deva Gowda for years. He's also a pragmatic politician. At the end of the day, he can't have survived in politics for 50 years without knowing which way the wind is blowing. Is he out of touch with the reality, or do you believe that we have underestimated Deva Gowda? The Deva Gowda, when you speak to him, he still appears like someone who sees a role for himself, both in Karnataka and national politics.
Look, Deva Gowda really believes in what, his last sentence as outgoing Prime Minister was that I will rise from the ashes. And he still, if you remember in Lok Sabha when he was being voted out.
And he's got hope. Mahathir Mohamad at 92 can become Prime Minister. Why can't Deva Gowda at 85 at least be kingmaker?
Yeah, and he really believes that he will rise from the ashes. But I agree with Raghav. JDS has been punching way above its weight in the elections. And there's also been a coming together of various circumstances. The fact that a large section of the anti-BJP vote realized or felt, rightly or wrongly, that a vote for Mr. Deve Gowda would actually end up indirectly supporting Mr. Modi and therefore supporting the BJP, and that's why they all gravitated, if our polls are right, towards the Congress.
Rajiv, Harish made the point about the importance of the regional player. Now, the Congress played this election like a regional player. By bringing in identity politics, by talking about Kannada sub-nationalism, the Congress actually played this battle against the BJP's card of nationalism by talking about regional identity like a regional player. So in that sense, it squeezed out the JDS and told the people of Karnataka that you don't need a regional force. We are there as a regional party for the people of Karnataka. Point number two, JDS old entire playing field is only 60 seats of the old Mysuru region. For them to expect that they will win 2/3 of that and win 40 and then be a player is actually overestimating itself.
Look, the 60 forget, but you made an interesting point that even in those 40, the Congress and Siddaramaiah knows the JDS better than most. He's come from the womb of the JDS. He's also from old Mysuru. He convinced the voters, you believe if our numbers are right, that he is the authentic son of the soil. You don't need someone else. You've already got a son of the soil in Siddaramaiah. Why do I need Kumaraswamy in this election?
You have a
Even though Kumaraswamy, I found, was an extremely popular leader among the Vocaligas. It's the plus vote, the Vocaliga plus vote, which may not have come, the Dalit, Muslim, other OBCs, which could have also gone along with Vocaligas if our numbers are right. But Ramakrishna Upadhyay, you're the outlier. You maintain that the polls that have said BJP is winning have got it right. Therefore, in that scenario, JDS is holding on.
See, JDS, as Devagowda keeps mentioning, that people underestimate. I think that happened in 2004. Definitely nobody expected them to get 65 seats, and they were in power. But since then, the tragedy of JDS is, it has become a family party. I mean, I think the pressure from the family members is so much that, he has isolated the other people.
But
from the time
when wasn't JDS a family party?
No, when Siddaramaiah was there, MC Ranaya was there, they were all good.
There was a time in the JDS.
Yes, they were good people.
There were other leaders other than the Gowdas now. Now it's about Devagowda. I was told even his daughter-in-law was to contest the election.
Yeah,
so
two daughters-in-law. Both of them wanted
to contest.
Grandson
Gowda
wanted
and
to
sons.
contest.
Gowda and Sons, the family business may well be facing a setback if our numbers are right, and that could well tell the story of Karnataka at the moment, because we've always believed in our polling that if the JDS declines, it is advantage Congress. I know Amit Malviya is saying that the BJP is fighting hard in Mysore, but our data is showing Mysore is moving towards the Congress at the moment. But there is Mumbai, Karnataka, and that could hold still hope for the BJP. Don't rule out the BJP at the end of the day in this election.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.